Captain Aditi Samant. Captain was missing in your name, so I put it back. And I put your photograph, Aditi, yesterday, the one
Yeah.
in the flying.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're looking very pretty and very feminine. And we've been going through. So Aditi is someone who's very dear to me. She's very real. She's somebody who's tangible. Parul, I'm really happy you're here today. She's really tangible. She's somebody who I can hold. She's not. She's not a make believe person. She's not somebody who puts up a show. She is who she is. And there are many people that you will find that they try to be better than. This girl has so many different, how do you say, talents. And yet she's always put herself, I think, she's tried making herself really small everywhere. Um, I'm really delighted to see her. The last time I met her, she was doing Mrs. India walk, and she was brilliant at it. I loved her in her black dress at the end, and I wish I could own one like that. So over to Aditi, a lady with guts and a lady who knows how to fly. And she actually flies, guys. I'm not joking. She's actually a captain, and she knows how to. She's a pilot. So just besides that, she has many, 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 many talents. Love you, Aditi. Please weave your magic today. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Anu. Coming from you, such high praise is really makes me fly right now, and get a little emotional as well, because you mean so much to me. You mean the world to me, and you've always been there supporting me whenever I needed you. You were absolutely there, and I love you.
I love you too. I love you beyond. I mean, I would love to sit in the flight that you're flying. That would be a.
Someday, someday, someday,
It
that
is
day
going
shall.
to happen, Aditi. It is going to happen.
It will.
इकट्ठे उड़ेंगे.
Absolutely. Okay.
इकट्ठे.
And
Okay, Usha ji, namaste. Yes, go ahead.
firstly, I want to congratulate Saraswati. She has been phenomenal and non-stop. I mean, the amount of work that she has done in this, in studying this, and in talking about it, and in understanding and in explaining. Saraswati, you rock.
Yeah,
You could not have done a better job. This was phenomenal.
I'm
So,
so proud of that kid. I'm so proud of her.
really, really,
Thank
absolutely.
you,
She
Aditi. I
deserves it.
mean, you know how anxious I was. I was in
I do, and you just blew me away. You absolutely blew me away. No words to describe Sarso. Fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much coming from you. Thank you.
Okay, everybody, let me just introduce myself. I'm Aditi Samant, like Anu said. And today I'm going to talk about making friends with your nervous system. Now, this topic is quite connected to what Sarso spoke about. So I'm going to continue from where Sarso stopped, and then we're going to see how we can tie it up together. So I'm going to start sharing my screen now. Is my audio okay?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the topic for today
Aditi,
is
your voice is
making
going. Aditi, your
with
voice.
your nervous system.
Yes. Aditi,
Hello?
your voice was gone.
Yes. Is it back now?
Yes, it is back now.
Okay. All right. So let me just tell you a little bit about myself. Like Anu mentioned, I'm a pilot. I was flying in command of the Airbus 320 before I had my baby, and for a while after also. I'm a trauma therapist with a background in clinical aviation psychology. I've been on the board, still am on the board of Aviation Accident Investigation Board of India, a trainer in aviation human factors, ERP, emergency response planning for airline accidents. I train for that also. Prevention of sexual harassment of women, NLP master practitioner, etc., etc. Like Anu mentioned, a lot of things to my name. But I'm a mother now, and a mother of a beautiful 5-year-old, and I'm very, very proud of it. So before we start, let's just check in with everybody. Let's just get a sense of how we are all coping with this lockdown. You can put your answers in the chat box or just raise your hand and we can have a small discussion. So let's just get a sense of what's happening with all of us, how we coping with the lockdown, how we doing with this social distancing, or now we call it physical distancing, and dealing with the fears and worries about getting infected, and about the economic and other concerns about this new post-corona world. Our normal has gone away. It doesn't exist anymore. And there is a new normal that we are anticipating maybe at some point in the future. That's how it's going to be. We don't know when that future is going to come. So there must be some things that we are dealing with. So let's just, if there's anything, put it in the chat box.
Yeah,
How are you?
people are saying they're growing. Sarita is saying she's growing. Pari is saying I'm fine with it. It's normal for me.
Yeah.
Smita is saying getting used to a new normal. Sarita is saying that learning a lot of new things, learning about myself. Yes, new normal things have changed and will change further.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So here's what we are trying to understand. Okay, here's my screen. Okay. Hang on.
So I feel after I heard 1 month more, I kind of got really irritated. I could have beaten someone up. Believe me. I knew we were not going to go out of the house. But the very fact somebody said, "Ek mahina aur," I said, "Kaun hai ye ek mahina aur karne wala?" Somehow.
अभी क्या है ना कि जो है the powers that be, they are there, and that is how our world is.
Yeah.
So it's interesting actually that you mentioned this. Can you see my screen? Is it okay?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, I think there is some issue with my laptop. It worked so beautifully for Sarso, and it is now giving me trouble for myself.
That happens.
Okay, so while many of us may be grateful, like you guys mentioned, you're really grateful to be safe and have this time to rest and learn. There may be some who are completely shocked at how fast their world is turned upside down, and how difficult it is to actually, get with this new normal, having difficulties, being overwhelmed, withdrawing, disconnected. Many people don't want to connect with anyone, don't want to talk.
Aditi, on the Facebook, people are sharing that they have anxieties. This has become the new normal. Thank you, Jyoti Kothari, for that. So just letting you know that there are messages popping up on the other side too.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you so much for responding. And there may be many who just can't stay at home, or stay put for various reasons, and they're defying the rules, getting angry, getting upset, wanting to do something, just wanting to run away. There are, unfortunately, there are migrants who are fleeing to their hometowns. They have nowhere else to go. Some people just want to get out of the house and, go meet up in groups, or every day in the news you hear, oh, this was where lockdown was broken, this is what was happening. There's a lot of things that are going on. Different people are responding differently. Now this shows that although we are all facing the same storm, we are in different boats, and all of us are responding to the situation very differently. So how did this happen? How do we get triggered like this? Some people may be okay with it, some not okay, some angry, some withdrawn. So it triggers us, this whole situation, like Anu just mentioned, that when she came to know that, oh my God, 1 more month, and she really, it was very triggering for her. So how do we really get triggered? Okay. So
So somebody says, so Juhi is saying the job opportunities on hold due to pandemic.
Oh my God. And yeah, that's this really unfortunate things are happening, you know.
Yeah.
And so have you ever told yourself, or has anyone told you, just, you know, just get over things, or, you know, ye to hona hi hai, or ye to aisa hi hai, this is how it's going to be. You're making a big deal out of it. Not to feel the way you are feeling. We have a habit of
I
saying
think
that.
the question would be, there are times when I have asked myself, what is the reason for you to feel like this, Anu? You're meeting everybody at night, 9:30. What is the reason for you to feel like this? You should be telling people everything is okay. And here, internally, you're telling yourself, what's the reason for you to be locked up like this? I mean, is the universe punishing? Have I created this universe? And if I've created everything, how did I create my lockdown?
So there is physiology, psychology, spirituality, philosophy, everything all rolled into one. So also wonder, you know, why you get triggered by some things that don't make sense. You know, like just exactly what Anu was just mentioning. Like, why am I'm supposed to say this to people, but then I'm getting triggered. This doesn't make sense, right?
You know,
So
I said yesterday to myself after the session, it feels to me as if I am in a different boat where there is no lockdown. And I'm trying to, inspire and get people to understand that I am feeling free. No, I'm not feeling free.
there is a state of confusion actually with a lot of us, you know, because this is something that's very, very different, and it's not what we have ever experienced or imagined that could happen. Parveen says there is one thing which I've learned from my yoga sir, that to live in the moment and don't think about what's going to happen even after 10 minutes. Parveen, that's a fantastic way of looking at things. And if only we could all abide by it, and if only we could live like that. So the answer to these questions is that these things that trigger us, the stress, the trauma, they do not reside in the event. They reside in our nervous system. Okay. All of us are going through the trauma. All of us are going through the surprise, the shock, the feeling, everything. The lockdown, the pandemic is common to everybody. But different people respond to it differently. We respond to it differently at different times, depending on our mood and depending on what's going on in our lives or around us at that point. So I want to ask you all, where do you feel your emotions? Where do you feel anger? Where do you feel sadness? Where do you feel jealousy? Where do you feel love? Where do you feel fear? Where do you feel joy? Where do you actually feel these things? You can put it in the chat box. And anyone responding on Facebook Live, please.
So we have to, so Jyoti Kothari saying, my husband says this is a new normal and we all need to accept this new normal. Nidhi Jain is waving out to you. So guys, just even on the Facebook put down, where do you feel all these emotions? If you're feeling this irritation, feeling this fear, where are you feeling it? So people on the over here are saying, oh, in my tummy, in my lower back, within myself, heart, throat, various areas of the body.
Right. So here's what we understand, that emotion or anything that we feel is any thing that triggers us, stress, trauma, all of these things are felt in the body. It's felt in the nervous system. And it's felt in the nervous system because all our organs are connected through our nervous system, and it is our nervous system that influences all of this. So when you feel it in your tummy, it's because of the nervous system. When you feel it in your heart, it's because of the nervous system. And what part of the nervous system is what we're going to see today. Yay. Okay, let's see if this works. So we often don't start out with a healthy nervous system to begin with. Like Sarso just shared about attachment styles, and those are very, very important. We're going to tie them up here. Childhood traumas, adversities, problems, growing up in families, or even in utero when our mothers were pregnant with us, whatever they went through, or if they had an emotionally tough time. too high expectations, which is very, very common in our Indian scenario with Indian parents. Too high expectations, abuse, a lack of safety, all of these things can actually keep our nervous system in an underdeveloped or dysregulated state. It doesn't fully develop the way it is supposed to with secure attachment. What she was talking about, the secure attachment, is what we are biologically tuned for. But if that doesn't happen, if we don't get the security, the safety, the connection in our childhood, especially in the ages of 0 to 5, our nervous system remains a little immature and therefore susceptible to stress and traumas. And as adults, we often wonder what's happening. Like, I'm doing all these things, I am eating well, I'm exercising, I am doing meditation, I'm doing yoga, I'm taking therapy, I'm doing everything right, and still I am not healing. I'm still getting triggered. It's still happening. Okay. So this is where we are going to talk about the connection between what you're feeling in your body, which is because of your nervous system, and what's going on, how you are dealing with things, and how you're going to deal with them in the future. So the missing link between stress and trauma and the healing is our nervous system. It's not out there, it's in our bodies, it's in our nerves, like we just discussed. Okay. And they govern the functioning of every organ of our body. The result is we get sick. If our nervous system isn't healthy, we get sick. It affects our heart. So we have all these common illnesses: heart disease, diabetes, blood pressure, cancer, immune disorders, metabolic disorders. I mean, the list is endless. And all the time we're trying to heal it. We're, looking at allopathy, we're looking at surgery, we're looking at all of these things. But the most important aspect of it, we keep missing because we are not aware of it, and that is our nervous system. What has happened to us in childhood, what has happened to us growing up, what kind of attachment system did we have, how safe or secure did we feel. We're going to discuss this in detail a little further on. So let's now understand our nervous system. So since the topic is making friends with your nervous system, so let's actually understand our nervous system. You must have studied this in school, maybe 8th, 9th standard, and forgotten all about it. But today, let's look at how important it is for us to be able to recognize what's going on, what's actually happening to me. Because when I know it and I'm able to name it and I'm able to understand, oh, this is where it is coming from, oh, this is what it is, and then that's going to answer your questions. Like somebody was asking in Sarso's talk about attachment, how do we heal it? If I'm very anxious, how do I heal it? If I have avoidant attachment style, how do I heal it? So this is the way to heal it, because your attachment style and all the traumas associated with it, the stresses associated with it, are all stored in your nervous system. Okay. Am I going too fast or am I slow? Is the speed okay with you, or should I slow down?
Put it down in the
Just
chat box.
let
Is
me
she
know.
fine? I think according to me, you're fine. Let people answer. Put it in the chat box. Is she fine? Yes. Yes. Everybody's saying yes. Just
Okay.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So let's make friends with our nervous system again, so that we can heal from our past and become resilient for the future. All right. So who remembers this diagram? Who remembers this from school?
Aditi क्यों याद दिला रही है?
So, okay.
There used to be a skeleton hanging in the lab. Okay, and I constantly had this mischief in my head कि ये skeleton को अगर आधी रात को उठा दिया जाए तो क्या होगा? Now you are taking me back to a very tricky area, Go ahead.
I'm taking everybody back to a tricky area. For some, this is actually triggering going back to school and remembering science and biology. So just hang on there and we'll see what is actually triggered you, if this has triggered you. Okay. All right.
Bio lab.
Bio chapter.
Bio chapter. Yeah. Dr. Archana is saying that. Okay. All right, so here's an overview of our nervous system. It is composed of the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. So if you can see the screen, the central nervous system is the brain and the spinal cord. And the peripheral nervous system are all these blue nerves, okay, coming out of there, going all over the body. The central is the brain and spinal cord. The peripheral is all around the body. Now, under peripheral, we have again two types, the somatic and the autonomic. The somatic is those which are connected to your voluntary
Your voice is trailing. Your voice is trailing. Your voice is trailing.
Okay, is it better now?
Yes.
Is it better now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so somatic is, yeah, so somatic nervous system connected to voluntarily moving muscles, and autonomic is not under our conscious control. It is automatically happening, okay? And these, the nerves connected to the autonomic nervous system again are branched into two types, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. If this is becoming too technical
Nervous system पर जाएं.
about it, we're
Nervous
going
system
to,
पर.
hello?
Please, all of you mute yourself. Thank you. Yes, go on, please.
If this is reminding you of school, don't worry, we'll tie it up with your adult understanding also. So we have a parasympathetic, under autonomic, we have parasympathetic and we have sympathetic. Under parasympathetic, we have ventral vagus and dorsal vagus. So today we're going to talk primarily about the sympathetic nervous system, the ventral vagal and the dorsal vagal, okay? So that these three parts, the sympathetic and parasympathetic, and of which the ventral and dorsal vagal are the autonomic nervous system. And we are going to talk mainly about the autonomic nervous system because this is the system that is not under your conscious control, but this is the system that is running your life. If you are triggered, this is where it is. If you feel the nervousness in your body, this is where it is. The meaning of I'm feeling nervous is the triggering of the autonomic nervous system. The number one job of this system is to keep us alive. It is for survival. How is that? Of this, there are the two branches are the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. And the parasympathetic includes the polyvagal and the polyvagal nervous system. Vagus means wandering. Okay. So the vagal nerve is the biggest nerve in our body and it is wandering. It has two parts. They connect to our organs, and the polyvagal nerve is so called poly because it has two main branches, the dorsal vagal and the ventral vagal. This research was done by Stephen Porges, and he was the one who called it the polyvagal theory. And there is a whole lot of research done on how these polyvagal nerves actually affect us. What are they actually doing in our body? How do we recognize, oh, this is the work of the polyvagal nervous system, and what do we do about it? Now, if you look here, so our autonomic nervous system, sympathetic aspect, and the parasympathetic. Under parasympathetic, we have the ventral or the social vagal system. Now, the importance of this is the ventral vagal system is the new one, the mammalian system, okay, which we have as mammals, as modern mammals. It is the one that gives us our sense of safety, of connection, of responsiveness. It is in the front. It comes from the front, the ventral, and it connects the organs that are above. Face, your ears,
Your voice is trailing.
Okay, I'm going to say that again. It comes from the front and it connects your organs. It connects with your organs that are above your diaphragm. Okay. So your face, your facial muscles, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your chest, okay, your heart, your lungs are all connected with the ventral vagal system. This is the one that gives you a sense of safety, a sense of security. This is the one when you have secure attachment. This is the system, the nervous system that is most active. uh, imagine kissing a baby, kissing your child, or just being kissed by anyone you love. How does that make you feel? That gives you a sense of that gives you a sense in your heart of warmth, that creates a sense of safety, that creates a sense of connection with that person, and that is your ventral vagal system working. Your dorsal vagal system is the one that comes from the back, and it connects the organs that are below your diaphragm. So when you feel nervous, you feel it in your gut. When you feel anxious, you feel it in your gut. This is the one that gives you the freeze response. This is a primitive one. This is part of the reptilian nervous system that we still retain. Okay. The sympathetic nervous system is the one that is the other branch of the autonomic nervous system. Now, if you have heard of the terms fight, flight, freeze, have you heard of them? Let me know in the chat box if you've heard of them.
Yes.
Yes. So we've all heard fight, flight, freeze, correct? So it is our sympathetic nervous system that gives us this fight or flight mobilization. Okay. It is that system that hello, am I audible?
Hello?
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are. There must be someone
Okay.
who's not
All right.
muted them.
Yes.
Guys, can you please look at your this thing, your mics and mute it, because I'm actually have to go back every 2 minutes and mute you guys. I would
That's
be
fine,
really
Lakshmi.
good.
Please mute yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, so the fight flight is governed by the sympathetic nervous system. So whenever you have the urge to fight, like to really hit someone or to run away from a situation, or you are mobilized, that is the sympathetic nervous system in action. When you are in a freeze state, when you're shocked, when you're scared, when you don't know what to do, when there is trauma, when it is a sense of I cannot escape this, vagal primitive system, which is a survival system that takes over. You know, to play dead when faced with a predator. Yeah, this is the system of, this is that nervous system which is active at that point, playing dead. Okay, so the fight flight is governed by the sympathetic nervous system. The freeze is governed by the dorsal vagal nervous system. So it is immobilized, frozen, numb, dissociated. Then we come to this ventral vagal. Now this is the most important. This is the modern mammalian system. And this is what gives us your sense of safety, connection, response, etc. So all of these together create your autonomic nervous system. And this is what is actually responding to the world. Okay. So I just wanted to show you this vagus nerve, how it connects to every single organ. Okay, so there, if you go online, you'll find so many diagrams and you'll find a lot of stuff regarding this polyvagal theory. In fact, it is one of the most popular theories now, and one of the things that actually helped us understand so much more about trauma being stored in our bodies and how do we deal with it. So the vagus nerve is involved in nearly every physiological action in the human body. Okay, because it is connected to every organ, whether it is ventrally or dorsally. And for, you know, we have metaphors for it, like it is the super highway of your body that's transporting vital information between your brain and the rest of the organs. We call it in, to use an aviation metaphor, it's like the air traffic control. You know, it's the ATC that is monitoring a multitude of aircraft and saying, okay, you go here and you go there and you can climb and you can descend, and make sure that the entire system runs efficiently. Now here's the thing about it. How does it ensure that the system runs efficiently? So our nervous system responses can influence the nervous systems of other people too. So like the air traffic control, you know, is basically coordinating between the traffic of the station and the other traffic, passing traffic, etc. Our nervous system responses can influence the nervous system of other people too. This is again where we bridge back to attachment. When Sarso spoke about anxious and avoidant couples, their nervous systems were influencing each other. The way this is done, we call it neuroception. So neuroception is the way our bodies, the autonomic nervous system, ANS for short, the way our bodies scan the environment around us, okay, for safety or danger, and use that information to influence the body functions. So if I am faced with a man with a knife, what's going to happen? My body nervous system is going to scan it through my eyes, through my senses, and say that, okay, this is a very dangerous situation. So I can either perceive it as danger or life threat. Now, if it is my father who is coming with a knife in his hand because he is cutting a mango for me, I'm going to know that, okay, it is safe. Okay. So how I am perceiving the situation also depends on what experiences I have, whether this is familiar, not familiar, etc., etc. So neuroception is actually the environmental cues, okay, the cues outside and the cues inside. Okay, what do things look like outside? Who is it? What is it? Is it a dark alley? Is it an unfamiliar place, etc.? And internally, have I ever had that kind of an experience? Okay, so this information goes to my autonomic nervous system, and from there on, I then respond to it. Okay, either I say, oh, it is safety, oh, it's just my dad who's just cutting a mango for me, or it's danger, okay, this is a dangerous situation, this person is coming with a knife and I need to get away from here, so I run. That is my sympathetic nervous system. So the safety one was the ventral vagal system saying, oh, okay, it's familiar. The danger system is when my sympathetic nervous system got activated and I realized I must run away from here. Or my dorsal vagal system can get activated and I might be really frightened and really frozen in shock and not be able to move. I might just faint or get dissociated or become numb and become an easy prey. I might not be able to move. So this often happens, you know, when people ask women who were raped, why didn't you fight back, or why did you run away? It's actually this life threat that had happened. That was the system that had taken over and frozen the woman's body and mind, and she was not, hello? Am I there? Am I clear?
Yes, you are. Yes, you
Okay,
are.
so it was actually this dorsal vagal freeze, this dorsal vagal freeze part of her nervous system that had taken over for survival because she knew that she could not escape. So this is how we understand how the nervous system, this especially the autonomic nervous system, is helping us survive in this world. So we look at it like a traffic signal, you know, the red for the freeze, and immobilization, so you got to stop, the orange, amber, yellow, whatever you want to call it, for danger, and the green for safety. So now let's look at each of these systems a little more in detail, what it actually does. Does anyone have any questions so far?
Any questions, guys? Any questions? Please put it in the chat box.
Can I ask? Aarti.
Aarti.
Aditi, I was trying to connect this with animals.
Mm-hmm.
Like animals also have the similar nervous system.
Yes.
What happens? They go into situations where they are freezing. So we are, you know, we know that. Is there a reason why it's getting like in? Sometimes it's, we know it's something with the what you described. It could be in a situation where they are. So if they are not experiencing any threat, they've not been experiencing. I'm talking about a pet at home who's had a very secured life, but put them in a situation which is not very. It's not that they've experienced that situation before, and yet they go into a freeze.
Yeah, so here's the thing that since all of this is a modern mammalian system, the animals also have it. The animals also have the freeze system, and of course, that is the reptilian system. The ventral vagal is the modern mammalian system. Going in a freeze is a way of ensuring the body's way of ensuring that I survive an unknown, uncomfortable situation from which I cannot escape. Now, because we are humans and we have prefrontal cortexes and we have modern brains, we can think logically, we can rationalize, we can look into the future, we can make all these assessments. For us, it is one part that we may be able to get out of a situation or may be able to think. But for animals, it does work a little differently. I also have been a pet parent. I am a pet parent. Yes, I do call it a pet parent, and I have a dog. And yeah, I do see that, in uncomfortable situations, yes, she could freeze and it could happen. And but the thing is that we are not able to actually understand what it is that has triggered them. We will not be able to know what exactly it is that would have triggered the animal. So maybe a little more discussion on that. Maybe we could have, you and I could talk about this and try to figure that out, after this call. Does that work for you?
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, great. So let's continue on the fight and flight system. Now, this is the danger. Yes. And please work. So my sympathetic nervous system does get triggered right now sometimes because my PPT is not working very well. So I don't have a fight or flight, but it does get a little irritating. So this is our sympathetic nervous system that signifies danger, and
Your voice is trailing, Aditi.
Get away from this. It does any differ. All I need to face it. It's fine again. Is my voice clear now? Is
Yes.
it better?
Yes.
So the fight or flight system is the get away from system. Either I fight it, either I stand my ground and I fight it if I have the strength in me, or I run away from here. In this, like we know, the sympathetic nervous system gets triggered, the blood flows to the extremities, and we are mobilized. Now, it is not just this mobilization doesn't just happen in for dangerous situations, but also, for example, if I'm a sports person, and I have to play against the other team. This is the sympathetic nervous system that is also activated at that time because I need to mobilize my resources. When I am pumped and I'm excited to do something, again, it is the sympathetic nervous system that is mobilized in getting me to really to move and to do the activity and to get going. Again, mobilization, action, emotion. The freeze, which is the dorsal vagal shutdown. Okay, it occurs, it activates when we are under life threat. So now, if you look back at the attachment styles that she mentioned, uh, a, an anxious attached child would have danger signals. Oh, my parent is not looking at me. Oh, I'm not getting attention. Oh, am I worthy? Am I not? But a disorganized uh, person or even an avoidant person would have some aspect of this freeze, because it means that this is not okay for my survival. I need to shut down. I need to withdraw from this situation. I need to go inward. And these are not conscious decisions that you are making. It's your nervous system that is using neuroception to assess the situation and say, well, this is not okay. This is a threat to your survival. So I need to withdraw. I need to withdraw. I need to shut down. I need to go back in. It's again a reptilian response. It is in life threat situations. It is the immobilization. And in cases of trauma and overwhelm, for example, if a child is witnessing domestic abuse, or if as an adult you are experiencing domestic abuse, or you are a witness to something that is happening outside, for example, a murder or a robbery, or any such thing, or if you are a witness to somebody really getting or an accident, such things like that. So that can trigger this freeze or dorsal vagal shutdown. Sometimes when we are in situations, we don't remember what happened. You're just not able to tell what happened. I don't remember. I just know that this person came at me, and after that, I don't remember what happened. That is where your freeze has taken over. Your nervous system has frozen, has shut down. So your things like memory, processing, etc., parts of your brain are not really functioning well at that time because you are in survival mode. And we then come to the safety. Talking so much about trauma and stress, it really feels good to talk about safety. All right, so this safety and social connection, this is the green light. This is the go system. This is everything normal, all okay, good to go, good to launch. That is this system. Now, this system is in the modern mammalian system. When you are connected with somebody, when you are loved, when you feel secure, you know, the I'm okay, you're okay. This is what your nervous system is predominantly feeling. I'm okay, you're okay. We're all good. Uh, this is the ventral vagal activation. So when you are feeling good, you're breathing well, your heart rate is normal, your face is relaxed, you're smiling, you're able to hear well, you are able to move easily. So all of these things is what your body is signaling that yes, I'm okay, things are okay, environment is okay. Now, here's the thing. Two systems cannot be activated at the same time. So if I'm feeling safety and social connection and I'm feeling okay and I'm feeling secure, the freeze cannot be active and the danger is also not active. So if one of the system gets activated, the others slow down, the others quieten, and the body prepares for a survival action. So if I am in freeze, I'm not going to mobilize, but I'm also not going to feel safe. If I'm feeling safe, I'm not going to freeze. So each of these system is active at a particular time. And this is very, very important for us to understand, because when we are talking about healing from trauma or bridging the gap and making friends with our nervous system, we need to be able to understand that the more I activate my ventral vagal system, which is my safety and connection system, the quieter and the more relaxed my dorsal vagal freeze or sympathetic danger systems are going to be. So I'm not going to get triggered so much. And that's how we build resilience. That's how we heal our attachment issues as well. So we're going to talk about this healing bit a little bit later. Are we good so far? Are there any questions?
Yes, we are very good. How many slides do we have, Aditi?
Not too many now.
Okay.
Is there an issue with that? Is there something?
No, I just need to know how much more time because Sarita is also waiting. So I'm just trying to sit down and calculate in my head how much time is required. That's all.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
no problem at all. You're doing splendidly well. Go on.
Okay. So the safety signal is the release of oxytocin, and the danger signals and these freeze signals are the release of the stress hormones in our body. We're not going to talk much about that. So let's bridge back to attachment and see how this nervous system and the vagal and the polyvagal system and the sympathetic system connects with our attachment, because basically it is these two systems, our polyvagal system, our nervous system, and our attachment system. These are the two that are interacting with the world. These are the two that are giving our neuroception. These are the two that are giving our responses to the world. These are the two that are getting triggered. Okay. So when a baby is born, their nervous system is not myelinated, okay, not covered. If you can see this diagram here, there is this myelin sheath, okay, that is the covering. Now this is this is a mature neuron, okay. So young babies, when they are born, their nervous systems do not have that covering, so they are immature. The nervous systems are immature. We are biologically programmed to have safety, security, love, connection, holding, kissing, touching. All of these things are biological requirement. So as we get this from our primary caretaker, our nervous system matures, it becomes more resilient, it becomes more secure, the sense of safety is improved, and we grow in our resilience. Okay, so securely attached children have attuned and consistent parents, like she said, and the secure child learns to feel and deal. So because I have received it, my nervous system, the ventral vagal nervous system is more active. I am feeling it, I am dealing with it. Whatever it is that I'm feeling, I'm dealing with it because I'm secure, I'm confident. Where anxious attachment is there, my nervous system has not received the kind of touch, care, sharing, consistency, eye contact. Most important in feeling secure is eye contact. I have not received it consistently, and my parent or primary caregiver has been attuned sometimes, misattuned sometimes, preoccupied, uh, and inconsistent. So I have become, the child becomes insecure, anxious, and learns to feel but not deal. Okay, I'm not going to go too much into detail because Sarso explained this beautifully. So I'm just connecting it to the nervous system here. Avoidant attachment, where the parent is unattuned and consistent but unattuned. So the love, the care, the touch, all of that is missing. Okay, so again, that results in an immature or underdeveloped nervous system. Avoidant children learn to deal but not feel. Okay, so again, now the fourth category, the disorganized attachment, where unattuned, inconsistent parents. So the nervous system is all over the place. It is completely disorganized and dysregulated. So I don't know what's happening. So now these kind of, except for the secure, the other three, their nervous system being immature and not fully developed, when they grow up as adults, they are going to be wondering and in a confused state that, okay, I'm doing everything, but why are things not moving for me? Why is it not healing? Because my nervous system is still in the danger or life threat mode, and it is swinging between the two. The ventral part of it is not as much activated or as much matured as it was supposed to have been. So how do we learn to regulate? When we spoke about the attachment system, somebody asked, how do we get over this? So when we learn to regulate our nervous systems, we get over it. Shraddha was mentioning that she had been an anxious attachment system person, and now she's predominantly different and more secure. If she has been working on herself and she has been actually connecting with herself and learning to regulate her nervous system, she is going to feel better. So attachment styles can be healed through our nervous system. So because attachment bonds are nervous system based, the way the primary caregiver attunes to the child creates a template of how the child learns to regulate their nervous system as an adult. Okay. So secure adults co-regulate. Now what is co-regulate? When a baby is young and the baby is under stress or crying for food or is uncomfortable, what is it that the mother does at that time? Her system is trying to regulate the baby system. If a mother is calm and cool and nice and warm and caring at that time, when the baby is crying and upset and is tuned to the baby, then the mother's calm nervous system is going to co-regulate the baby, and the baby is going to calm down. Okay, so this is co-regulation. We are regulating each other. My nervous system is regulating my child's nervous system. Such children, when they receive this kind of security and safety and secure attachment, their nervous systems begin to self-regulate. So as I learned how from my mother how to be calm, I am now able to self-regulate myself. So now when I get under stress or when I become stressed out, I am able to regulate myself the way I had learned it as a child. So that memory is there in my nervous system. And then later on, what we do as a group, we interregulate. Currently, what we are doing as a group, and as Anu has been doing these programs, we have been interregulating. So each of us has been sharing, and we have been creating a safe space here and interregulating each other's nervous system. We don't need to be physically present. Our communication, conversation through our neuroception is interregulating our nervous systems as a group. Are we good so far?
Absolutely.
Okay. Then we look at anxious adults. Now, anxious adults look for external regulation. That's the way Sarso shared. They look for validation. They look at somebody else. There is always somebody else who has to regulate me, who has to calm me down. I am dependent. I am clingy. This is how these people are. They cannot self-regulate. They cannot calm down for themselves. They always need other people to regulate their nervous system. So they are hyperactivated nervous systems, and they need to down regulate. We need to teach them how to down regulate. That's what we do when we work with anxious adults. We teach them to down regulate their nervous system. Avoidant adults, their nervous systems are hypoactivated. They are withdrawn. They do not discuss emotions. So for these adults, we need to teach them to upregulate their nervous system, to actually get in touch with their emotions, to get in touch with their bodies. They are often disconnected. And disorganized adults are completely dysregulated. They don't know, मैं आ रहा हूँ कि मैं जा रहा हूँ, कि what's happening, chaos, confusion, that reigns. These are the kind of people who can get very, very angry at the drop of a hat, and then suddenly withdraw, and then suddenly become, suddenly you'll see them, oh my God, this person was just angry. What happened? These are the people, often the disorganized adults, the abusers, psychopaths, sociopaths, people with a lot of psychiatric issues, not related to others, like people who enjoy hurting others. These are the ones that come from this dysregulated state, because the difference, essential difference between other attachment systems and this disorganized system is the parent of these disorganized adults has been a source of fear also, and a source of comfort also. So if my parent is a source of fear for me, who am I going to go to? I will obviously have to go back to my parent. So there is a total confusion in their head about fear and comfort. Who is going to do that for me when I'm afraid of my parent? Who am I going to go to? So they are not able to regulate their emotions. They are not able to find safety.
Your voice is failing.
Person depended on only was their source of fear. Okay, did you get that about the disorganized, or do I need to repeat it?
If you could repeat that, please, because so you said that they have a parent.
Okay.
Till there, we didn't get it after that. They have a parent
Okay.
who is.
Yeah. So with disorganized adults, what tends to happen is their parent, the primary caregiver, is the source of fear. Often an abusive or disorganized adult themselves, when the child is afraid of the parent but has nowhere else to go, what is going to happen to their nervous system? Who is going to regulate them? There is complete and utter chaos. So my source of fear and my source of comfort are actually the same person. So there is a lot of chaos and confusion in these people's nervous systems, and they don't know how to deal with them. So they have this template from their parents about anger, abuse, shouting, yelling, screaming, hitting, beating, all kinds of things. So they don't know exactly what is safety. So when we work with these kind of adults, we actually teach them to understand what is safety and to try to bring it in their nervous system. They do not have a concept of safety or security in their nervous systems at all. So now we come to the most important part. How now, after understanding all of this, okay, after understanding attachment systems, the nervous system, the neuroception, the way the nervous system reacts, the danger, the life threat, the ventral vagal system, what is it that we are essentially doing now? is we are trying to create a bridge, okay, back from where we are, where we are getting triggered with danger and life threat and, you know, swinging between the dorsal and the sympathetic nervous system. From there to create a bridge back to secure attachment. And that is possible through the ventral vagal system, because essentially it was the ventral vagal system that was underdeveloped, that was immature, that was not given the importance that it should have received, that was not given the security that it should have received. And once we as adults work on activating our ventral vagal system, there's a lot of attachment issues that can be healed. Okay, so it's not something that happens overnight. Of course, you know, whatever your age is as an adult, 30 years, 40 years, 20 years, 50 years, 60 years, for those many years your ventral vagal system has been uh, uh, not dormant but underactivated. So it takes,
Aditi,
yes,
Aditi, your slides have ended or what?
no,
Because suddenly Sarso slides can be seen. Guys, can you see Aditi's slides? Or can you see what are the attachment styles?
I can see say a ventral vagal slide. Last one was that.
Okay.
okay, let me share it again. Can
Yeah.
you see this bridging back to secure attachment?
Yeah, this is
Yes.
what it was.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So this is my style, my slide, okay?
Okay.
And it's not moving forward again. Stop share. Okay, are we okay so far?
We are perfectly all right. I just need to know how many slides are there, and I'm sorry to ask you this again and again because I need to give just
Yeah.
understand whether we can include the third talk or not, because you know. So
Yes.
I have a
This is,
little bit of a
I have only 2 more slides.
okay, wonderful.
Okay, because we are near the end of it now, and we're talking about how we can tie everything together and actually move forward and heal. Okay.
Wonderful.
All right, so let me just get back to where we were. Okay, guys, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So the human design is to be in connection with others. It is to be in relationships. It is to seek safety. You know, children who don't have that, children who don't have the safety, security connection in childhood, children who experience isolation, there have been studies actually, there has
Aditi,
been a
go
lot
at
of,
your pace. Don't hurry up. Relax and do
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
If yeah.
So there has been a lot of work done in this field where they found that children who were given food and given clothes and given things like this, you know, basic needs taken care of, but deprived of human connection, human interaction, eye contact, their bodies did not develop, their immune systems, their nervous systems did not develop, and they died. So there have been cases like this in orphanages, and there have been studies like this done. Thankfully many decades ago, and no more of it is done now, but so we understand that the human design is to be in connection with others, to be in relationships, to seek safety. And when we have unresolved stress and trauma in the dorsal vagal and the sympathetic systems that run our lives and our responses to the environment, we just spoke about that. So safety is the treatment, safety is the answer. We cannot live our lives feeling unsafe, feeling insecure, and still you know, go on the way we have been, because that does not develop resilience. We will still continue to have the problems because it is our danger and life threat systems that are running the show, not our safety, security, not our the biologically primed ones that are running the show. So we need to put the dorsal vagal and the sympathetic systems to rest and say, okay, now my ventral vagal system needs to be activated. So safety is the treatment. This is a statement by Stephen Porges. Activating the ventral vagal nerve to have an increased sense of safety and connection is this bridge of friendship that we build with our stressed and traumatized parts of our nervous system. Okay. So when we say making friends with our nervous system, we are actually making friends with the stressed and traumatized parts of our nervous system and bridging that gap with the using the ventral vagal system. I'm okay, you're okay. That is where eventually we need to get at. And since we all can't do a lot of meditation and a lot of going to the Himalayas and what Anu mentioned, but we can still try in our own ways using our knowledge of our own bodies and connecting with our own bodies to have some sense of safety, security better than what we had yesterday. Every day getting a little better and better. So activating the ventral system, playfulness, smiling, laughter. We adults, we've forgotten to be playful, right? We've forgotten to be fun. We've forgotten to, and a lot of playfulness, fun, etc. Becomes a no-no. It's like acting like a child, or we view it as being immature. But that is essential to our feeling of I'm okay, you're okay. Only when things are okay, I'll be free to be playful and I will be able to smile and laugh. So essentially, when I'm smiling, laughing, playing, it's a message to my body that everything is okay, and the ventral vagal system is then taking over and being active. From glimmer to glow, this is something that I really like. Noticing and staying with positive moments to expand your capacity for good things in life. When something is going well, we are often expecting, oh my God, what's going to happen now? Things are going so well. What if something bad happens now? We're constantly in that. So we are not able to accept and live in those moments of joy, even if something bad is going to happen later. But right now is the moment of joy that we are not able to experience and not able to stay with. So from a glimmer of joy, a glimmer of happiness to a glow. So notice it, stay and expand your capacity to be with the good things in life. Even if tomorrow is going to be a bad day, but today is still a good day. This is a way of improving your ventral vagal tone. Hobbies and self-expression, creating your own safe space, self-compassion, kindness. I'm not going to go over these in detail. You already know what they are. I just wanted to connect it with the neurobiology of ourselves. So whenever you are doing these things, you know what you are doing for your body, for your nervous system, and how it is going to help you. Body work, self-massage, self-touch, gentle exercises like yoga, stretching, breathing work, pranayam. Pranayam is phenomenal. It is the only autonomic nervous system function that is under your conscious control. So when you breathe in a certain way, it sends the signals to your lungs and from there to the rest of your body that everything is okay. So breath control is one of the most valuable ventral vagal resources that we have and that we can use. Polyvagal massage, I will show it to you in a bit. Tapping like EFT, because the ventral points are in our face. So when we do EFT, Anu, the EFT that you taught us, when we do EFT, it is, hello?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, so when we do EFT, this is what we are doing actually. Why EFT makes you feel good is because it is activating your ventral vagal system, which is your safety, security system, and your stress levels go down. And meaningful social connections, of course, those are, I don't need to explain it. The ventral vagal is called the safety and social connection system. Now, what I'm going to teach you today is this 5 minutes autonomic nervous system bridge. You do this for 5 minutes a day, every day. So when I spoke about, bridging the gap and that it's a slow process, but it requires consistent practice, 5 minutes a day of doing these things is a good way to start. After that, if you want to expand and be, add things to it, that's up to you. But this is a start, the starting point where you practice 5 minutes a day. Okay, so first 1 minute you breathe, slow inhale and slower exhale. A slower exhale sends a signal that okay, all is okay, I am calm, ventral vagal gets activated. A polyvagal facial massage. So I'm just going to show it to you, since all of the the points, a lot of the ventral vagal points are on the face. So doing a facial massage, touching your face, your eyes, your forehead, your ears, just massaging it gently, you know, feels so good, because that is what is required. We don't, although I know corona, no touching your face, all that, keep your hands washed and sanitized, but do this, touch your face, give yourself a little massage, that loving touch, gentle, you know, when we do this to a child, how wonderful it feels when you were a child, and when your parent ran their hand over your head or touched your face. It felt good, because that was the ventral vagal system being activated. Okay, so you can do it for yourself. Again, loving self touch, hug yourself, smiling, again that sends a signal to your we need to practice smiling, just for the fun of it, just for the joy of it. It doesn't matter if something is happening or not, or what. Stretching does get the nervous system, the muscles to move, and the nerves to actually reconnect the organs. So stretching also is very, very important and very essential in doing this. So if you do these 5 things, 1 minute each, it's a small thing, but a bridge is built one brick at a time. So these are the small bricks that go in building your bridge towards safety, towards secure attachment, and healing your anxious self, your anxieties, your avoidant self, and any other kind of stresses and traumas that you are currently going through. Keeping your sympathetic nervous system and dorsal vagal system in a quiet place. Okay, you are not running the show, it is my ventral vagal system that is running the show, because like I said, at one time only one system can be activated. So if the safety signal is active, the other two quieten. This is a mind map that I had made of what I spoke about, and I'm going to put this on the group and give it to you as a reminder for everything that we discussed. All the things that we discussed are in this, and with this I am done with my presentation. Any questions if you have, we will answer now.
Okay, the first thing, let's make an announcement. And the announcement is that we have overshot the time today. So Sarita has been very kind. And I thought today was the last day. So we will have the seminar tomorrow where she will be presenting. Is that okay with all of you? Please put it down in the chat. Will all of you be able to attend tomorrow 9:30? We will have only one short session. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Sarita, because I think it's important to give speaker also exact. And just to let you know, she was corresponding with me and telling me, don't cut down on Aditi's story because she's doing it so well. So thank you, Sarita. That really talks about maturity levels.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that gesture from you. It also means that I cannot run away from this forum. I was not supposed to do anything tomorrow, but we'll be there. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's happening. I told you, I have not been able to control this or manipulate it in any way. Aditi, your talk was fantastic.
Yes,
I
it
will
was
be sitting
fantastic.
down and going back onto this because it really can connect a lot with the meta medicine and a lot of stuff that you have spoken about. And we need to also understand that there are frees. I'm just going to add a little additional with what Aditi was saying. Aditi, you know, animals don't keep this freeze for too long. They
Yes, they
have
do.
a system by which they will shake off the freeze.
Yes.
If you look at the dogs, every evening they get into what you call zoomies. Those zoomies are nothing but shaking off the stress.
Yes.
And the more they are agitated, the more irritated they will be, the more they'll want to tear something, bite something, cut something, and get out. We as human beings are, are not allowing ourselves to shed off the stress because we need to be, how do you say?
Proper.
Yeah, there's a very nice terminology. Why can't basic courtesy? We exercise basic courtesy and उसमें हमारी band बजती है. Okay, so if we can give up that basic courtesy and scream when we really want to scream, hit when we really want to hit, and bite when we really want to bite, we will not have so many diseases. That's just from me. Please open the forum for questions. But before we go for questions, I'm going to give Sarita 5 minutes of the time because she wants to interact with everybody. And we are going to have session tomorrow, which was not supposed to be at 9:30, but maybe that is how it was supposed to be. So let's not say it was not supposed to be. Thank you. Never say never.
Yeah.
So Sarita, please go ahead, connect with people.
So does anybody has a question for Aditi? So otherwise I will continue.
I like your wallpaper behind. This is called the nice Zoom connection. Allows my laptop, it doesn't allow, it allows only on my phone. So, okay.
Okay, cool. So how is everyone doing? I'm sure it's really late, but I don't want you to sleep, with that thing. I want to sleep with a smile. And, Aditi has dropped us in the end. There are a few things which you can do over here is, you can do is, smile and hug yourself and many more activities which she had put it across. So before we end this session, I would like you to, just laugh. Just laugh. Just laugh. So what we are going to do is,
Come on, guys. Unmute yourself and laugh. Come on.
And it is so easy to smile.
And it is contagious right now.
Yeah, totally.
Contagious. You all are awesome. You have beautiful smiles. Just flaunt it. अच्छा आप एक काम करो आपके सामने अभी लैपटॉप
Okay,
guys,
guys.
iPad है और यार phone है कुछ भी है. What you have to do is you have to just do high five with someone and you say awesome. You all are so gorgeous. I love you all. Okay.
लग रहा है आप सबने साजिश करी है. I'm sure this is planned out. अनु, तू कहाँ
साजिश छोड़, मुझे फटाफट हेडफोन लगाने पड़ गए. मेरे बगल में कोई सो रहा था. And Aditi and Sarita started laughing. मैं कहा ये क्या हुआ?
So पहले starting में मेरी laughter थोड़ी डरावनी लगती है. अगर you're not used to it, but it's okay. डरावनी तो डरावनी, laughter होता है.
नहीं डरावनी की बात नहीं है. कोई सो रहा हो और अचानक कोई जोर से हंस दे तो थोड़ा मुश्किल है.
Okay. Now there's one more thing which I would like you to do. So what you're going to do is open up your arms. I'm just going to shift my virtual background to none. And what you're going to do is open up your arms and just hug yourself. Wow! I love you. Just say that to yourself. I just love you.
आज मैं
I love myself.
This is awesome.
I love you.
Awesome. So one more exercise for you all. So कभी अमिताभ बच्चन का वो movie, I don't know which movie, but उस movie में एक dialogue continuously he's repeating, which is called कच्चा पापड़ पक्का पापड़, कच्चा पापड़ पक्का पापड़, कच्चा पापड़ पक्का पापड़, कच्चा पापड़ पक्का पापड़, कच्चा पापड़ पक्का पापड़. Who is on to do it right now?
Hello guys, you can do it. कच्चा पापड़ पक्का पापड़.
कच्चा पापड़ पक्का पापड़, कच्चा पापड़ पक्का पापड़, कच्चा पापड़ पक्का पापड़, कच्चा पापड़ पक्का पापड़, कच्चा पापड़ पक्का पापड़.
Awesome. There's one more. Now अभी अंग्रेज बहुत कुछ छोड़ के गए हैं हमारे देश में. अंग्रेजी छोड़ के गए तो अंग्रेज का भी कुछ रिस्पेक्ट करना चाहिए ना. So I've got one more. Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry,
Red lorry, yellow lorry,
Who is taking up this challenge?
red lorry.
Okay, super.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
So thank you so much. There is one color test which I would like to do. I would like to share my screen There is some image on my thing, and I want you to say the color and not the word. Okay, I'm sharing the screen.
So Binay for heads
Can
up.
you see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Now what you have to do is you're not saying the word. You are saying the color in which the word has been printed. So you're going to say red, blue, yellow,
Yellow,
green,
green,
black,
black,
orange. Sorry, red.
red,
Yeah.
Red,
Come on.
blue, yellow,
red, blue, black,
Blue,
red,
green,
yellow, green, black,
black, blue,
blue,
yellow,
yellow,
blue,
red,
black,
blue, yellow,
red,
black,
green,
red,
green, black,
green, dark green,
yellow, green,
yellow, dark
blue,
green, blue,
blue, red.
black, red,
red.
green.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So these exercise, what I did is rewiring your mind to do the change and the shift which you want, desire to. And this was a few exercises which I wanted to connect with Aditi's exercise which she shared on the last screen. So मुझे भी ऐसा नहीं लगना चाहिए ना कि मेरा आज time चलेगा. So I took that 5 minutes.
Thank you.
5 minutes from Anu,
Given a
and
bonus tomorrow.
I wanted you all to be a little fresh in my topic. So my topic is on affirmations, and that's why I wanted you to be little fresh. So no yawning that time, because that time also possibly while doing the affirmations, I might do some games that time. You never know.
Yeah. So tomorrow, Sarita.
So thank you, Anu. Thank you for
you have a
giving me
lot
this
more
5
time.
minutes.
You are not getting 5 minutes. You're getting actually a whole talk by yourself tomorrow. And I might get in one more
Thank
person.
you.
I
Thank you.
might get in one more person for inspirational talk. I don't
Sure.
know. But basically, we'll go
Thank
as a
you.
normal session because, yeah, that's probably what is written for you. So
Thank you.
I'm not closing my doors down to whatever is required. Like I said, right from the beginning, this show has been just happening. It is not in my control and I don't want to control anything. So let's have fun. Maybe it's requirement of the day. Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Wait, don't go. Vinaifa, we have to have Kaudi reading for all the 3 speakers. We'll do reading for you tomorrow again, but let's do it for today also. Vinaifa, are you ready, my dear?
Yeah, no, I'm ready.
Thank you so much. So let's start backwards. Let's start with Sarita and then go to Aditi and then to Saraswati, all 3 of them. And thank you. That was very, very well closed down session. Thank you. It would have never struck me to tell you to do it tomorrow, but that was very kind of you and very humble of you. So I really acknowledge that maturity in you. Binaifa, please go ahead.
So Sarita, for you, I have got a lot of abundance where the family sector is. You're going to have more connection with them, more love flowing, and the relationships are going to get better with them. Overall, in every aspect, there's a lot of brightness coming your way. And if there was an issue regarding anything karmic, that is slowly being cleared, but that will happen only if you use your intuition as to what to do and how to clear it. And just keep protecting yourself with whatever mantras or whatever you know, because that is just going to be a bonus for you. Thank you.
I want to acknowledge Manish Dayal over here, not only for helping me in constantly putting up the adverts, you can call it, or the instructions that tomorrow we're going to be having a session, but also, you know, being very kind to be here today and supporting all the Venus Club people. Thank you so much, Manish. I
Thank you, Anu.
It's a brilliant
the pleasure
gesture.
is mine. The pleasure is mine, and
Brilliant
it's so
gesture.
nice to see all of you here.
Thank you. Can we have reading Binaifa for Aditi, Captain Aditi?
Yeah.
Aditi, we have to fly together. Aditi hai kidhar? Madam Aditi?
I'm here.
ऐसे इतनी जल्दी मत जाओ छोड़ के. Oh my God, he's grown up.
I'm going to mute it now. Okay, Captain Aditi, for you, I am getting a beautiful spiritual journey that's on its way for you, and a lot of movement, maybe to different places post the lockdown with your family, and also a spiritual movement. So both will happen quite simultaneously for you, and you need to use your intuition as far as people go, how who to trust, who not to trust. You just need to be careful regarding that, and try and keep yourself protected by whatever means you wish, by prayers or by just visualization, whatever you feel comfortable. That would be great for you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Benaifer.
Benaifer, before you go to the third reading, I want to make a small announcement to all the people who are here. If you want to be part of Venus Club, you can connect with me and you can always participate with them. It's a beautiful educational group and it's a pride to be part of it. Thank you. Please go ahead with the third reading. That is Saraswati Pradhan. Thank you.
So, Sarso, what I got for you is that you're blocking yourself from many things, and especially spiritual growth. The spiritual growth is there for you, and you just somehow don't want to embrace it right now because you feel maybe the time is not right. But there's never a right or wrong time, so just go with the flow. If things are coming to you, just take it. And whatever little issues are there in the family, those are going to be sorted and things are going to get better. You are going to get a lot of messages regarding how to make things better with the family, so you just need to follow that and just go with the flow regarding that. And don't feel shy to ask for help. Keep asking for help because the universe is there and you will get the help whenever you need it. Thank you.
Thank you, Benaifer.
Most
Thank you
welcome.
for that. Can we do a reading for Manish Dayal, please?
Sure.
That's a bonus. Thanks, Anu.
Yeah, that is.
So, Mr. Manish, for you, I'm getting a lot of positivity as far as spirituality goes. So you're gonna do a lot of spiritual work. You're gonna start looking at things differently at a different perspective. And I'm seeing a lot of abundance in the form of finance coming into your life. And you know how to use your wisdom. So use it positively, use it correctly, and things will just be better.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much. Actually, you know, I'm an entrepreneur guy and I'm expecting something tomorrow. And when you say a lot of abundance and finance, I'm so happy.
Okay, great.
We have new people on the forum today. Nandita, Mr. Hemant Samant, and we have, so if we can read for these two people.
Sure.
There's also Ashwani Samant. So the newbies. Thank you, Benaifer. I really, really appreciate. This girl has been sitting up every day late at night and doing cowdies or cards for everybody. It takes a lot. I really, really appreciate your presence in my life, Benaifer.
Thank you, Anu. Same here. So for Nandita, I have got, again, there is going to be a lot of reconnection rather, I would say, with your family. And whatever differences were there, it's going to sort out and things are going to move to a smoother road ahead.
if you want to pursue anything in the occult or spiritual line, then this is the time you are going to get a guru and just follow the lead and go ahead. It's going to be good. You don't feel comfortable asking people for help and receiving things. So it's okay to receive at times. You don't always have to be the giver. So be open to receiving. That way a lot more will open up in your life.
Wonderful. Nandita, I hope you got that message. We have Mr. Samant, Ashwini, and Hemant. So we'll first go with Ashwini and then with Hemant. So Ashwini, do you have any question?
I'm not entirely new here, and I'm a little overwhelmed with listening to it. So I think let us just continue.
Okay, wonderful.
You guys after.
Michael, just go ahead.
Yeah.
I appreciate your presence here. I understand that you're a newbie today.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So Ashwini, there's a lot of help coming your way. So this help will come to you whether you like it or not. And the more you resist, the more you're going to need that help. So be open to receiving. It's okay. Take that help. Somebody who's really wise and somebody who's really going to look after you and look out for you is going to enter your life. So be open to accepting that as well. And you're going to maybe start being more clairvoyant than what you were, and try to, you're going to try and seek out more in spirituality. So that's only going to make you feel better. Maybe whatever you're doing, maybe you're doing some chanting or something. So please continue that. Or if you're not, then you can start with something, whatever you feel close to your heart, you can do that and things will just get better for you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hemant.
Hello.
Wow, that your voice is really going. We'll just do the Cowries for you because we can't hear you. So
I am Hemant, Aditi's father.
okay, wonderful. So let's do Cowries for Aditi's father.
Okay. So Mr. Hemant, for you right now, you may be feeling a little blocked and you may be feeling that nothing is moving for you. And from everywhere, you're just receiving a lot of resistance. So what you need to do to break these barriers is to just enjoy life. Just try and be a little more light, maybe listen or watch some comedy or something that will make you laugh and feel better. If you like something else that makes you feel better, like painting or listening to music, whatever it is that makes you happy, please do that. And that is the only way where things are going to open up for you faster than anything. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the effort and I will follow what you said.
Thank you so much. Vinay, that was wonderful. I have one last person who really needs to have the reading. And this is Usha Tiwari. Please speak in Hindi for her.
Okay.
She's a brilliant person, a very innocent and a pure soul.
ओके, तो उषा जी आपके लिए आया है दैट पैसे आपकी लाइफ में अभी आएंगे और जल्दी आएंगे, इजीली आ जाएंगे, और आपका जो स्पिरिचुअल पाथ है आप खुद ही ब्लॉक कर रहे हैं, आप इजीली वो खोल सकते हैं, क्योंकि जितना आप स्पिरिचुअल बनेंगे, नॉट रिलीजियस मीन्स मंदिर जाना, वो रिचुअल्स फॉलो करना, वो नहीं, बट जस्ट बीइंग स्पिरिचुअल, तो वो जितना करेंगे आपकी लाइफ उतनी इजी हो जाएगी और उतना इजी आपको सब कुछ लगेगा कि आसानी से हो रहा है, मीन्स जो भी डिफिकल्टीज है लाइफ में वो अपने आप निकल जा रही है, और आपको हेल्प की ज़रूरत है, प्लीज़ आप हेल्प मांगिए किसी से, आइदर प्रोफेशनली या घर पे हेल्प चाहिए, किसी की कोई भी टाइप की हेल्प आपको ज़रूरत है तो प्लीज़ आप हेल्प मांग लीजिए, बिकॉज उससे आपको आपकी लाइफ और स्मूथ हो जाएगी. थैंक यू.
Thank you, Binay, for that was really, really important. Now the last reading for the whole group, and then we call it off.
Usha ji is trying to say something.
Usha
Usha ji अपने आप को unmute कीजिए please.
हाँ, उषा जी माइक को खोलना पड़ेगा. हाँ जी.
हाँ अनु, जो मैं इंट्रोडक्शन देती हूँ अपने बारे में तो मैं ठीक से बोल नहीं पाती हूँ, वो मैं जानना चाहती थी कैसे ओपन होंगे, मतलब
आपके साथ हम सब बैठ के ये काम करेंगे.
तो मुझे
आपने अगर उड़ना शुरू कर दिया तो शायद हम आपके साथ थोड़े थोड़े उड़ लें.
अरे बाप रे, ये सब लेकिन मतलब इम्प्रूवमेंट ही नहीं कुछ हो रहा है उससे.
आपको ऐसे ही लगता है? करेंगे ना बैठ के. बिल्कुल.
ओके, थैंक यू अनु.
थैंक यू जी. बिनाई फॉर सबके लिए.
या Okay, so right now the energies of everyone are little out of focus. So we just need to harness those energies and bring it back. We are doing our bit spiritually, but we still need to do more, focus more, so that not only we, but the entire world benefits from our energies and our vibrations. We should try and be a little more happier than we are. It's like we are living and existing, but we are not being happy. So along with money, along with wanting money, we should also want for happiness, because that also is an equal part of our life as money.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this is where I stop the